Look closely. Every school hides something. Behind every hallway, every locker, every passing face, there are stories no one talks about. Some are silly rumors that fade away, but others grow quietly, becoming mysteries everyone notices but no one understands. Maya was one of those mysteries. She was the kind of girl most people overlooked. Quiet, soft-spoken, always shrinking into the background as if she wished she were invisible. But there was one thing about her that made it impossible for her to disappear. Maya wore the same outfit every single day. A faded gray shirt, old, worn-out jeans. The clothes looked tired, like they had lived a harder life than she had. They were stained, wrinkled, and had a faint, musty smell that lingered around her. Students noticed quickly. Whispers spread like wildfire. People pointed at her in hallways and whispered her name in disgust. Some kids were cruel enough to give her a nickname, Smelly Maya. They laughed loudly, not caring how deeply their words cut. Even teachers noticed. They exchanged worried looks, but said nothing. It wasn't their place. Or so they thought. Everyone saw the dirty clothes. Everyone judged her. But no one ever asked why. For Maya, mornings were the worst part of the day. Waking up meant facing the world again with the same rough shirt and the same itchy jeans. She didn't have other options. This was everything she had left. The shirt scratched her skin. Sometimes dried stains made it stiff and painful. And the smell. She noticed it more than anyone else. She tried hiding it with cheap perfume, spraying far more than the bottle could handle, hoping no one would notice. To survive school, she kept her head down. She avoided eye contact. She walked fast. She stayed small. Lunch was her loneliest moment. She sat in the darkest corner of the cafeteria, eating quickly and quietly, hoping time would move faster. But she always felt the stares, the judgment, the unkind whispers following her down every hallway. Gym class was a nightmare she couldn't handle. Changing clothes in front of others was impossible, so she skipped it whenever she could. The shame was heavy, like a blanket she couldn't take off. The bullying only got worse. At first, it was whispers, then giggles. But soon, the popular girls took it much further. They made loud jokes about her needing a bath. They accidentally bumped into her and spilled water on her shirt, making the stains even more visible. People who weren't cruel stayed silent, afraid to become targets themselves. Maya felt completely alone. She started thinking about dropping out. She wondered if leaving school was the only way to escape the constant pain. Then one day, something small changed everything. Inside her locker, she found a simple note. "Keep going. You're strong." It wasn't much, but it was the first kindness she had felt in months. For the first time, she had a tiny spark of hope. What everyone didn't know was the truth behind her clothes. Months earlier, her life had completely changed. An electrical fire destroyed the small apartment she shared with her mother. Everything burned. Their furniture, their belongings, their memories, all turned to ash. With nowhere else to go, they ended up living in a crowded emergency shelter. The shelter didn't have washing machines. To clean clothes, they needed to take long, expensive bus rides they couldn't afford. Her mother worked 2 low-paying jobs, barely sleeping, desperately trying to save money for a new place to live. Maya understood their situation. She refused to ask for new clothes. She didn't want to make things harder. Wearing the same outfit wasn't laziness. It wasn't neglect. It was poverty. Painful, heartbreaking poverty. And Maya stayed quiet because she wanted to protect her mother. Everything changed the day Ms. Davies, Maya's English teacher, asked her to stay after class. Her voice was soft, her eyes filled with concern. For the first time, Maya felt safe enough to speak. She cried as she explained everything. The fire, the shelter, the money problems, the shame she carried every day. Ms. Davies was stunned. She knew she couldn't just listen, she had to act. She went straight to the principal and the school social worker. She didn't reveal Maya's name, but she explained the situation. Within hours, teachers across the school quietly came together to help. They organized a small, private donation drive. No students were involved, no attention, no embarrassment, just compassion. A week later, Maya was called to the principal's office. She walked in nervously, but instead of trouble, she found a small room filled with brand new clothes, shoes, toiletries, and a backpack. Everything she needed, everything she had been silently praying for. The next morning, Maya walked into school looking like a different person. Clean clothes, fresh shoes, a quiet confidence she had never felt before. Students stared in shock. The bullies suddenly looked ashamed. Their jokes didn't seem so funny anymore. Ms. Davies later shared a lesson with her class about empathy, about unseen struggles, and about the dangers of judging someone based on what you see on the outside. She didn't mention Maya, but everyone understood. Some students apologized to her privately. Others began treating her with kindness. Slowly, she made her first real friends. The school, once full of whispers, became a community that finally understood compassion. Maya's story changed everyone. Her dirty clothes were never a joke. They were a symbol of survival, of loss, of strength. And one teacher's simple act of kindness changed everything. It reminds us of an important lesson. Never judge people by what you see. Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. When we choose empathy over ridicule, we give someone a chance to heal and a chance to thrive.